Hey, so some of you had contacted us and asked more about the speed bag, and specifically what I was doing what I was explaining to do when you miss a shot on the speed bag. So we're going to make a YouTube video out of this, so I'm just going to recap what we did previously. To start over again, all I said was it's very easy to hit the speed bag. A lot of people make it difficult because, you know, it seems kind of mysterious and kind of difficult. It's not at all. It's a rhythmic thing. When you hit the bag, the initial time you strike it, it's going to be straight down like this. It's going to come back, hit the backboard, then it's going to move through its arc, hit the front, then it's going to hit the backboard, and then right about here when it's at that attitude, you're going to strike it again. Now a lot of people will strike it or try to strike it when it's flat again. That's too late, and it ends up chopping or making the swivel do this, which basically ruins the rhythm of this. The thing that makes the speed bag work is that you hit it consistently. So you want to hit it consistently in the spot that you choose to hit the bag, which is going to be right about here at the fat part of the bag. The angle that you hit the bag at, in other words, it's an elliptical kind of movement, not a chopping movement, and how hard you hit it. If I get the bag going, and I'm just doing this, and I'm going to hit it harder than that, watch what happens to the speed. So if I get urgent, if I feel like I'm off rhythm, and I got to hit it, the tendency is to hit it too hard, and then of course that breaks the rhythm, and then you're missing it. So let's just start the bag going with our left hand first. The rhythm is 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. You can hear that, and I'm barely touching the bag. I'm not making a tight fist. I'm hitting with the side of my hand, and I'm hitting at the same place each time. Now, what a lot of people will do is this. See how I'm dropping my hand? I can't even do it. Okay, don't drop your hand. Bring your hand through the bag, make an elliptical motion, bring it straight back, and then hit it again. Now that rhythm, the slow rhythm of barely touching it, is the same as when I speed it up. No matter how fast you go on the bag, it's the same rhythm. It just, the timing is different, right? The speed is different, and of course the force is different. So initially when you start, take your strong hand, put it forward, and just count off to yourself 1 and 2, 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 1 and 2. Keep this hand up. Make sure that you're putting that into the mix so that you have a good habit instead of a bad habit of hanging your hand down. Once you've got that down, then you start alternating your hands. Now there's a hitch, and what I mean by a hitch is people, they get like when they transfer hands, it's almost like they can't let themselves do it. Just let your hands go. I park my hands on the left shoulder. Some people stand right in front of the bag, but I find that it makes you stand like this. So I stand with it over my left shoulder, and all you're going to do is transfer your hands. So no matter how you're doing it, right, those angles, the speed at which you hit, the force with which you use stays consistent. That's the key. Once you can, move the bag, and I'll do it slowly, we're just going to move on the bag. So we're going to just kind of walk around a little bit. You don't have to move a lot. I'm just going to move around like this so that I don't feel like I have to just stand in place. It actually is like walking and chewing gum, right? So all I'm doing is moving around the bag. Now, when you miss or you screw it up, don't lose that opportunity. What I said in the previous video and what I'll reiterate here is use that moment to use head movement. So in other words, if I'm hitting the bag and then something happens, I'm going to move my head and I'm going to come right back up and start hitting again. Move my head, start hitting again. Right? That way, if simulating, if I'm in the ring and I miss or the guy slips or has some kind of other movement, I get used to the ability to move my head so that I'm harder to hit. Alternatively, another thing you can do is you can, and this is what a lot of people had questions on, like what were you doing in that video? So let's say I'm going along the bag and I mess it up. So what I'm doing is I'm doing accurate shots. So see how it's spinning? Now I'm going to stop it. So what I'm doing is I'm trapping the bag. All right. So when I make those shots, see how it traps the bag? I'm not trying to bounce it. I'm trying to trap it, but it's a moving target. So it makes me move around and be able to hit. Okay, so then you've got three things the bag is doing for you. One, rhythmic practice, where you're getting speed work and all that stuff with your hands. The next thing is you're using it like a slip bag, because you're moving your head around the bag. And then the third thing is precision shots, so that you're trapping the bag. Now, the caution to that is, as I said in the first video, make sure that when you're doing that, understand when you hit it, the bag's gonna be up here. So a lot of times people will shoot short and hit the swivel with their knuckles. I know that because obviously as a kid, I did that before I learned how to do this. So you gotta be real careful, because it will put in a nasty fucking wound into your hand. And that's a little bit about the speed bag. Just keep it fun, right? Instead of getting frustrated, keep it fun. A lot of times fighters, they don't want to do things in front of other people that they're not good at. And Michelle and I were just having a conversation here a minute ago about combat sports, and Kembativz is essentially all about putting yourself in uncomfortable positions until they become comfortable, right? So for the guys that, for instance, don't do ground, so they say, well, I'm just gonna keep standing up. Well, that's not a good answer, because a superior grappler will get you on the ground. So if you've said, I'm not gonna do that because I'm uncomfortable or feel awkward doing it, that's a fucked up way to look at your training. You've got to put yourself in those situations. So what I tell fighters, and these are guys that have fights, you know, obviously that we train and coach and fight, is to spend time on the bag, okay? And you don't have to do it in front of everyone if that's really a thing for you. Just remember that everybody that actually can hit a speed bag started there. They were not good at it at first. They fucked it up too. Okay, so with that in mind, happy training, and we'll get another video down here in a minute.